Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And today we're going to review Kubo and the Two Strings.
Kubo.
So Kubo and the Two Strings is an original stop-motion movie that came from Laika Studios, who is also responsible for Coraline, ParaNorman, Box Trolls, and now Kubo and the Two Strings. Basically, the basis of this movie is a boy... Oops, sorry for shaking the table. A boy named Kubo is on a quest to find 3 pieces of armor, and with that, the armor will protect him from these evil sisters that are after him.
The Moon King.
The Moon King and the evil sisters, and basically these armors are his father's armors that who has passed previously, and he goes on the adventure with Monkey and Beetle, and together the 3 of them need to find the armor together and defeat the Night King.
And that's another thing that
Or the Moon Knight, sorry.
The Moon King.
The Moon King. I'm getting it all wrong. All right, so we had a chance to go and see a screening of this movie, and it's fair to say that we both loved it. I'm just going to put that right off the bat because I want to get into what we liked about the movie. So, Dustin, what was it about this movie that you loved?
I love the originality of the story. You know, I mean, because who was the guy who actually was the director of it?
Travis Knight, who was also the CEO of Laika.
And Travis Knight, that they went out and found these Japanese stories, and it's a story that, you've never heard before, and it's just original, and it's the way that they brought it to life was just really, really original and inspiring. Mm-hmm. How they did it, how they just created this wonderful story.
I do have to agree. This is definitely, in a sense, a quest / a great adventure movie. It mixes the great Japanese culture, great storytelling through the art of stop animation, and this is the first time I've ever seen stop motion mixed in with origami, and that was phenomenal to see.
The thing that I loved about this movie was the chemistry between the 3 characters. The characteristics of Monkey and Kubo and Beetle, how, Beetle was a little bit more of the clumsy oaf kind of character,
very
but still
oaf-like,
very
happy-go-lucky.
Very still heartwarming and loving. And Monkey was the very serious, stay safe.
Almost like a mother-like figure, too. And I love seeing the dynamic between her and Kubo in the beginning, where she was almost nagging him, like, come on, let's go. You have to stay safe. We have to keep moving. Like how a mother would speak to a child.
You only get 3 questions. Why do I only get 3? That's one.
That's one. Yeah, you see all that in the trailer, and it's phenomenal. What I also liked is Matthew Mcconaughey is the voice of the Beetle. And he's a big movie star, as we all know, Oscar-winning. But because he's not the lead character, he didn't overshadow anybody else that was in the story. It wasn't because, oh, well, here comes Matthew McConaughey, we're going to give him all the great lines. Yes, Beetle has some great lines, but he didn't overpower anybody else by just sheer star power.
And at any time, I was never like, oh, that's Matthew McConaughey.
It didn't sound like him.
A lot of times when you get big-name movie stars in there, you're like, oh, that's just Will Smith saying those lines.
Right.
Well, that's just Eddie Murphy or, something like that. But when you can't even tell, and you don't even really know until the end credits that it's Matthew McConaughey playing this role, or Charlize Theron playing the monkey, it is just... The way that they bring these characters to life it never detracted, their star power never detracted from their performance.
I also have to say I am absolutely in love with Kubo and the Two Strings soundtrack from beginning to end, and it just goes so well with the story of that moment and of the scene. Specifically, there's one scene that if you're a Legend of Zelda fan, this whole action piece felt like you were beating a boss in Legend of Zelda. You know what scene I'm talking about?
I know what scene you're talking about.
I got so giddy watching that scene, and sometimes you forget. I was so immersed in the story, I forgot that this was stop motion.
Yeah.
And how painstakingly it took the artist to arrange each scene and each expression. And when you see it all come together and it's moving, you just completely forget until one moment you're like, wait a minute, this is stop motion.
How are they doing this? Kind of a thing. You're just like, wait a second, this is them actually moving each piece one at a time, moving, okay, shot, move, and just the concept of them being able to do some of the things that they did with this was incredible. You said the soundtrack is amazing. I loved just how the soundtrack, and one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie is when Kubo is telling his story to the audience. If you must blink, do it now. And that whole scene when he's in the in the village telling his story, the music with the action, with all of the origami that's going on is incredible.
What are some of the things you didn't like about this movie?
Honestly,
if any.
Since it came from a different culture and a different cultural background, it's a little raw in some parts, where it's a little where you're just like, oh my gosh, that's so sad and brutal, and this story is not for the faint of heart, but it is still it's a beautiful epic movie, and you can't have epic without, some sadness and tragedy kind of a thing.
I agree, and while I can't really find any flaws with this movie because that's how much I really loved it, the only thing for me is that this is not, because even though it's stop motion, it seems like a kid movie, it's really not marketed as a kid movie, nor it's kid friendly as far as if the kids are 5 and under. Certain scenes may be just a little too scary for them, but if they're like 6 and up, and I think they can actually handle it, obviously as long as they're with an adult. So that's kind of the only flaw I have for this movie, and it's a flaw because I want everybody of all ages to go and enjoy this. To wrap up this review, I just want to implore you guys, please, please, please go out and give Kubo and the Two Strings a chance. You will not be sorry. I promise you, you're going to love it. Or if you don't, you will at least be very, very entertained. It's still worth the money that you're going to spend for the ticket. And also, another tip is stay for the beginning part of the end credit. It's very interesting and entertaining. My dog is doing something weird over there, so that's why I'm distracted. Sorry. Yes, the end credit is worth staying for, and you will see why. And it actually also gives you a little behind the scene look at how they made some of the shots. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning into the review for Kubo and the Two Strings. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what we had to say about the movie, and also don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And that's it. We'll see you in the next video.